Hello, and welcome to Storytime with Chief Cassidy. I'm Michael Cassidy, the Chief of the Holliston Fire Department. Today, I'm going to be reading Smokey Bear Saves the Forest. Streaking through the forest like a comet, a bright red cardinal searched frantically for Smokey Bear. "Smokey!" he called. "Where are you, Smokey?" Smokey and the cubs, returning from a morning hike, heard the cardinal's excited cries. "Over here, Mr. Redbird," Smokey called. "Something wrong?" "Come quick," the cardinal cried. "There's smoke on Antler Hill." "Humans camped there yesterday," said one of the cubs. "Maybe you saw smoke from their campfire." "The humans left last night," the redbird answered. "Besides, only one thing can cause as much smoke as I saw: a forest fire." "I've been afraid this might happen," Smokey said. "Lately, the forest has been so dry that one spark could set it on fire. Mr. Redbird, please call all the forest creatures to meet at Crystal Spring. We'll have to act fast." Smokey and the cubs raced toward Antler Hill. There, they found that the cardinal had been right. Thick clouds of black smoke swirled above the treetops. A hot fire crackled through the grass and bushes. By now, the forest creatures had heard the redbird's call. They hurried toward Crystal Spring. Mice scurried from their holes. Raccoons scampered down tree trunks. Foxes darted out of their dens. Deer bounded from the meadows. A long line of moles, squirrels, rabbits, opossums, beavers, raccoons, badgers, skunks, porcupines, and bears rushed for Crystal Spring. When all had gathered, Smokey and the cubs arrived from Antler Hill. "Every second is important if we're to save our forest," Smokey told them. "Follow me." Running, flying, and hopping, the crowd raced after Smokey and the cubs toward Antler Hill. Without a moment's pause, Smokey began showing each animal what needed to be done. "Beavers, you can start gnawing down trees and bushes to form a wide path all the way around the fire," he shouted above the roaring flames. "You, deer and bears, roll the fallen trees out of the way." Smokey called the mice, moles, rabbits, badgers, and foxes. "You tunnel up fresh dirt to cover the path that the beavers build," he told them. Next, he sent the chipmunks, porcupines, and squirrels up nearby trees to trim off any branches that grew out over the beaver's path. The birds, skunks, opossums, and raccoons picked up brush and twigs and carried them out of the way. By now, the fire blazed and hissed and crackled. Fiery sparks shot high into the air, and trees burst into flames like matches. Thick smoke stung the animals' eyes, and flames singed their fur. they could scarcely hear above the roar. Dashing up and down the line, Smokey helped everywhere. "Don't give up," he told them, "only a little longer." The tired workers finished their job at last. Tall trees had been chopped down and rolled away. Bushes, grass, twigs, leaves, and limbs had been cleared off. A wide dirt path stretched in a large circle around the fire. "Stand back, everyone," Smokey yelled above the noise. Without a second to spare, the animals raced across the path to stand beside Smokey. The fire blazed closer while the animals held their breath and backed away. Big, hungry flames flickered toward them. But because dirt won't burn, the fire couldn't get across the path to where Smokey and his friends stood. When the last bush inside the circle burned away, the flames began to die. In another few minutes, the danger was over. The fire had not been able to escape from the circle that Smokey and the animals had built around it. "It worked!" the animals cheered. "Give 3 cheers for Smokey! Our forest is saved!" The rabbits began singing a special song, which they made up. "Hooray, let's cheer! Hooray, let's shout! The forest fire is burning out!" "Hey," shouted one of the cubs, "a drop of water just splashed on my nose. It's raining." As thunder rumbled, a cool shower fell, and soon the smoldering fire was completely out. Now the rest of the forest would be fresh and green again. It would be much harder for a new fire to start. Usually, when it rains, the forest creatures run to their homes to keep dry. But not this time. Today, they had saved their fine forest home. Animals could live in it. People could camp and have picnics there. The happy animals sang until they were hoarse and danced in the rain until they were sopping wet. And no one, from Smokey Bear to the very tiniest mouse, minded in the least. The end. For Storytime with Chief Cassidy, thanks for watching.